It's Quinn and Cantera, PYX106, 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti on the phone. Thanks for coming on, Paul.
Hey, good morning, guys. My pleasure.
All right, we want to talk Christie, but maybe a couple different angles than have already been discussed. Like from your perspective, from an attorney's perspective, how far can MSNBC continue to go with their investigative reporting, which isn't necessarily backed by facts? Like, when can a TV show get in trouble for reporting?
You're talking about Rachel Maddow?
I'm talking about the whole network. I like what Rachel Maddow's doing. I don't think Christie's innocent, but how long can they continue to do this?
Yeah, they can keep going. They've got enough. And, this isn't a situation where they're manufacturing. They may be manufacturing some of the opinions. They may be sort of presupposing a conclusion. But, no, once the news folks have what they have, they can do it until people are just tired of listening to it, and they move on to the next story.
They wouldn't catch the hell if they would just stop every once in a while and say, by the way, there is a chance that all of this that we're saying didn't happen with malicious intent. There is a chance that, this is just the everyday kind of operations in New Jersey government.
But it's not.
Well, and they also they have a vendetta against Chris Christie at MSNBC. I mean,
I haven't watched that closely, but I know that they're driven by ratings and what people want to listen to, and to be responsible reporting, they'd have to say that there's a lot of smoke, but once this clears, we don't know what's going to be there, other than the fact that the events did occur, and that's what they're supposed to be reporting.
Well, we did learn late last week that a bunch of Chris Christie's staff had been subpoenaed. So technically, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know if there's going to be any criminal charges here, and I guess from a criminal perspective, there probably isn't going to be, but here's where there could be. The federal government gets involved, and when the federal investigators come and they ask you a question, and if you lie to them, that's a crime. Crime is punishable, and we'll put you in jail.
Right.
One of the things that need to happen here is that if his staff, come out and they say, hey, he didn't know a thing about it, we acted completely on our own, and that will kind of still politically difficult for Christie, but he's out. But now they're going to be sitting in a federal prosecutor's office. They're going to be asking questions, and they're going to know that if they're lying, if it comes out later that they're lying, that they're going to go to jail. So to me, that's the critical part here. What are the staffers going to do? Are they going to? Is it the story? Did Christie not know, and are they going to say that? Or if there was some nod or some implied knowledge on the part of Christie, did they cave when the federal investigators are asking them the question?
With all that said, and I don't know what is it, Wildman or something like that? The guy who's in charge of bridges and infrastructure, the main guy who pled the fifth when all this stuff hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's taking a plea deal of some kind, and then is all of that just sort of, is that planned ahead of time? When he started taking the fifth, did he already know in his head, my lawyer's going to have me plead the fifth because I'm going to try to go for a plea deal on this and try to out the rest of the people?
I think initially because obviously what they were doing, they just thought that, it was business as usual. They didn't think they were going to get in trouble at all. And then when the things started heating up a little bit, sure, maybe there had been some early discussions. But at the end of the day, they've gone out and made statements, and Christie in particular was very, very believable that he knew nothing about this. And as long as that continues on that track, he's going to be okay. But if along the way someone says, all right, well, we knew that he was okay with this, and he was part of a conversation, then things blow up, and probably, again, I don't know if there's criminal implications here with Christie, but politically, he's dead.
Well, that's what MSNBC is hoping for.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on MSNBC here. We could have the same conversation on a different topic about Fox News.
Right.
Just so people
MSNBC
know.
was on this well before it hit everything, though. I mean, that's
and
why
they have some legitimate investigative journalists there, and it's pretty interesting when you're not willing to turn a blind eye like some of the other networks.
Exactly.
And here's the problem with the Christie fight is they love him in New Jersey.
Right.
So it's like you can't.
That's a huge factor.
That matters.
It works.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. This isn't going anywhere. This should take quite a while, shouldn't it, Paul?
Yeah, now they're doing the audit on the federal Hurricane Sandy money that came, and they're saying, hey, he used $5 million to put himself and his family on TV.
Yeah.
New Jersey's open for business campaign, and they could have done it cheaper without his family. But they've agreed. The Inspector General has agreed to launch a full investigation. It's going to be several months. So he was just flying high and probably doing a real good job by all indications. And there's so many distractions here. And I do think, you're months away from there being a report from the Inspector General on the using the Hurricane Sandy money. He said it was approved by the White House. I used the money, but like they said, but they're still going to investigate. And then, of course, this whole Bridgegate, as they're calling it. These things don't go away quickly either. And so, I think the press is going to continue to.
And my guess is there is a laundry list of items that Chris Christie was strong on, was maybe forced through, that people are going to be able to grab and take as examples of
we're going to start
ways
looking,
that he's been manipulated.
We're going to start peeling back the walls of the sausage factory.
Right, thank you.
And we're not going to like it. I don't think he's going to get arrested, but it may hamper him in 2016. I think, and that's what some of the Democrats are hoping for.
Thanks again, Paul. We appreciate it. We'll talk again next week. All right, buddy?
Okay, guys.
All right, Paul
Take
Harding
care.
from Martin, Harding, and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010 and 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Log on, listen loud, classic rock, and Quinn and Cantera at iHeartRadio.com.